Hello and welcome to another video where today we'll be looking at the worst run clubs in the country. I will do some National League and EFL ones as I think a few are in the National League now. So yeah, let's just jump straight into my worst run clubs in the country right now. And it wouldn't be a worst run club video without talking about Chancery and Sheffield Wednesday. Yeah, absolutely horrible scenes for them right now. Transfer fee embargo. I'm not sure what's going on, facing EFL charges over unpaid wages. Could be getting a points deduction. Danny Rowe could be leaving. There's all sorts of problems going on at Sheffield Wednesday, and it's really really bad, not good. Failed takeover deal, and yeah, absolute horror show going on there with Chancery and Co. I think an American group was interested in buying the club, but yeah, they just weren't. I don't know what happened. They've got embargo up until 2027 January, so they can't spend for a summer and a half, which is gonna be a year and a half. Sorry, which is really unhappy stuff for Sheffield Wednesday. I do feel for you Sheffield Wednesday fans out there, because I mean there's nothing you can do. All you can do is protest, but I think a takeover will be completed before January 2027, where it should be anyway. Look at all the other clubs: Derby, Bolton. Yes, they were nearly on the brink of extinction. It looks like sadly you might go on the brink of extinction, but I reckon somebody will come in and buy you. We've got to get lucky, like you did with we did with our owners at Birmingham. So yeah, Sheffield Wednesday, I could see struggling. It definitely been a lot of trouble. Danny Rowe could be leaving the club. It's really horrible to see what Chancery is doing to that club. I mean, a few years ago it was already bad. They've been stuck with Chancery for ages. He's open to a sale though, so that is good stuff. But yeah, a horrible situation going on at Sheffield Wednesday this summer. Or even January, or even next summer. They cannot sign anybody. So yeah, and Danny Rowe probably will leave, but I don't know who he goes to, because he won't have a job at the end of it. So yeah, Sheffield Wednesday are definitely one of these worst run clubs, if not the worst run club in the country at the moment. And we'll talk about them while we're here. It is Reading. Multiple points deductions from the last few years have really set them back, and under Dai Young, they've just slipped down the slippery slope. They were in a playoff final against Huddersfield all those years ago, but seems to have failed off by now. And yeah, they've lost players. I think they're losing Harvey Nibbs as well, which is huge. Fans have protested for over a year now, and probably over 2 years, I think, as well. Transfer embargoes over unpaid wages and taxes. Horrible situation down at Reading. But I think they did grab a takeover, so they can still keep going for a little while, but they still need that big takeover to get them, propel them up the league. So don't think they'll get points deduction this season. I think they will be all right. But yeah, I do feel for Reading fans. In the Championship not long ago, they gave us a game last season. It was 1-1 and 0-0. It's crazy how good they can be. No, Hunt did a really good job after Ruben Sellers departed. I think the players wanted to play for the badge, though, more than anything. So yeah, Reading are definitely still one of the worst run clubs in the UK, you would imagine, just because of that situation they have going on there, which is really sad to see. But yeah, I think as soon as they get a proper man and a proper takeover, they will be good to go, and hopefully they can get skyrocketing back up the leagues and back into the Championship, which is where they belong, in my opinion. Another club that might come a bit of a surprise, but do let me know down in the comments, any QPR fans, but I have gone for your club. There's a lot of debts going on. I know that you've got problems with the ownership issues. The manager situation was a bit of an interesting one. FFP fines get fined by the EFL. Not really any problems long term, I don't think. It's just a mid-table. I think since Michael Beale, since you're top of the league, it's just been a horrible downward slope. Had Gareth Ainsworth in there as well. It's not been a great few years for QPR, has it? Just been stuck in and around the relegation zone. Cifuentes is a great coach in my opinion, but he just hasn't had the tools to work with it. Queen's Park Rangers money and player-wise at QPR, and I think they might get sucked into a relegation battle this year if Julian Stefan doesn't click into gear, but he has managed in the Champions League before. But do let me know, QPR fans, but this is only what people have said online, so if your ownership is fine, then don't bother typing in the comments, of course. But yeah, QPR, I could see them getting sucked into a relegation scrap this season if the manager isn't up to scratch in the EFL, which we know he isn't, which is a big problem for Queen's Park Rangers, and it's a bit of a gamble leaving him in charge. So yeah, Hopefully there's no points deductions or anything, but hopefully can all get rid of those debts and start actually going upwards on that one. Don't have a turnaround plan either, so that is a problem for Queen's Park Rangers. So yeah, QPR may be a bit of a surprise. Do let me know in the comments if you don't think your club is in administration, and apologies if so. And then the other team is Wigan Athletic, as well, because they have never really recovered from 2020 and COVID, where they really struggled as a footballing business to keep going. They had plenty of points deductions, got relegated from the EFL Championship. I do remember they did beat Hull like 7-0 or something in one of those behind the closed doors games, of course. But yeah, points deductions, wage payment issues, new ownership really hasn't got anything back going again. They've appointed Rilo, which is a decent appointment for this league, but I don't think they're going to be getting out of League One anytime soon. I still think their ownership is a bit dodgy. The fans aren't really turning up in each week. But yeah, that you can understand that really for Wigan Athletic. I remember they did beat Manchester City with Will Grigg as well. I remember Paul Cook and Pep Guardiola fuming about that one. But yeah, Wigan, you could see they are really struggling still in League One, still at the bottom end of League One, and Wigan should be back in the Championship, in my opinion. That is where they should be for the remainder of, well, not the remainder of football, but that's where they belong in the Championship. And when they go and win the Premier League, win the FA Cup, with Roberto Martinez over Manchester City. Of course, they have a good record against Man City. But yeah, Wigan are definitely one of the clubs in a lot of rotten issues. So yeah, now we will jump into a club that is not in the EFL but got relegated last season, and you've probably bloody guessed it. And the final club is Morecambe, of course. Yeah, horrible what is going on here. They could be extinct by the time the season comes around. Well, not probably by the season comes around, but definitely by Christmas. If these wages do not get paid, they might not even be playing games. I think that was similar to Bury. All the games got postponed, and then it was unfortunate what happened. Board versus owners, civil war, absolutely horrible. Embargoed fixtures. But yeah, brinks of collapse, stalled takeovers, absolute horror show going down on at Morecambe, of course. But that's their own issue themselves. But yeah, I do feel for your fans, and yeah, if there are any Morecambe fans that are in the comments, please do let me know. Just poor management, staff not being paid, takeover being absolutely chaotic, of course. But yeah, I feel bad for Morecambe and what they are going through right now. But yeah, hopefully they do get new owners. That was a quick word. I don't really know about the National League side, but yeah, it's really sad if they do go on the brink of extinction. I remember then they were playing in the dizzy heights of League One a few seasons ago, I believe. I think they just ran out of cash, and then they got relegated, and then they survived, and they got relegated to the National League with Carlisle. So yeah, really sad times to see Morecambe getting relegated from the National League, unfortunately for them. But yeah, hope for your fans' sake that you get a takeover very soon. And yeah, that is my 5 worst run clubs in the EFL so far. Thank you very much for watching this EFL worst run clubs video. Not EFL, because Morecambe are in the National League, but it's similar to the EFL. So yeah, thank you again for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. The next video that you will be watching will be my League 2 predictions for the upcoming season, as then we'll bump into League 1 and then probably a Championship week later and Premier League a week later. After that, we'll have the matchday predictions. We've got watch-alongs coming up, Luton, Wimbledon and Cardiff, Peterborough. Going to do double Friday to Saturday watch-along. So yeah, thank you again for watching, and I'll speak to you all on the next one.